What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are making cells without silicone. I am using this household product right here to make some cells. And in the middle of this video, I have a giveaway going on where I'm just thanking you for being amazing, giving you free stuff, trying to help you out. Let's get into it. I've been looking into doing a pour without silicone and using some other basic household items to get cells. So today we're going to be pouring with this Dawn dish soap and see if we can get cells. Now, the color palette that we are using is fluorescent orange, cerulean blue, ultramarine blue, and Amsterdam white. That's right, Amsterdam white. My Artist Loft White is defective in some way. I don't know why, but it is. And we're using this open cup here. The base coat is going to be Artist Loft White that is full of bubbles too. And that's what we are doing. I have a dropper here and some Dawn dish soap. I have not even put it into my colors yet because I want you all to be able to see how much I'm adding, so that if it does do well, we can all replicate it together. So I'm using my little pipette to draw some of it. These colors were mixed 5-to-1 with Floetrol. So 5 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. And we're gonna do, there's 1 drop, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. 5. All right, so 5 drops in the colors. I'm assuming I probably should not mix this really crazy well because, I mean, it's dish soap, so it'll probably start introducing some of those soapy bubbles. It smells good though. The paint actually smells good, guys. Pretty interesting. So, you guys know on my channel I try to do things that are a little bit new most of the time, kind of try to step outside my comfort zone a little bit. I typically always use silicone, and so for me to not use silicone in this is a challenge for me. But I also want to take you along on my experiments, so if things work, whatever could make your lives any better, I want to be able to be part of that. It just makes me feel good to help people. So if I can help any of you, I do. For those of you that don't know, I launched a free PDF download. It is at jmopainting.com/quickstart. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. But it's a 5-page downloadable PDF document. And it goes over pretty much everything you need to start your acrylic pouring journey if you're new. And, you know, if you're not new, it has a glue recipe in it that I use, and the proportions and all that. And then at the end, it also has 90 minutes of video, has 10 separate videos in a playlist for you that go over lessons learned, all kinds of my different recipes for things, and overall just trying to give you guys something, some actionable actionable content that you can actually take and improve your quality of pours. But I have talked enough about that. Let's have some fun with this pour, right? All right, so it is going to be an open cup. I am mixing 2 colors that are complementary. These two, which can be dangerous because when complementary colors mix, they create mud. So we are going to do our best to not create mud. Look at all these bubbles. There's no dish soap in my base coat. It's just I just mixed it, didn't give it time to settle. So I'm gonna try to pop these bubbles as best as I can. All right. That looks pretty decent. So with that, we're gonna begin. So I'm gonna start by layering the blue. And I am gonna let them churn just so you can see if I get mud at the end of this. Because if they mix too much, two complementary colors, they cancel each other out. And they create a gray or a pea green or a baby poop color, for lack of a better term, really. It creates colors that, you know, they're not that attractive, guys. Now, I am starting to already see those are bubbles. Those are not cells, but let's see what we get out of this. I'm curious. All right, there ain't nothing yet. There's some bubbles. Oh, wait, no. There is some small cells popping up, but it's not what I'm typically used to with an acrylic pour. Definitely not with silicone. With silicone, there would have been a lot more bubbles in there. Or not bubbles, but cells. Yeah, there's some pretty colors together, though. It is creating some cells now. Those aren't all bubbles. Some of those are definitely cells. So yeah, the dish soap is actually working, which is cool because that just means I wouldn't have to go crazy trying to clean it. Trying to clean the silicone off before varnishing resin, because that is by far my least favorite part. Heck yeah. We're getting some really cool looking stuff going on over here. And I want you guys to be able to see it a little bit better. That is really nifty. So cells without silicone. To be honest, I was thinking I was just going to get this crazy muddy mess, but in the interest of showing you guys, you know, my mistakes as well as my successes, I am not infallible at all. I make tons of mistakes, y'all. So just wanted to be able to show you that. You know, I make mistakes just like everybody else. We're all human. We all mess things up from time to time, but the important is to like learn from those mistakes. But yeah, those cells are cool looking. I love those. Then we're getting some really micro cells over here. We're starting to reach the end of our white, so I'm going to need to put some more on so the paint can't continue to roll under. Just applying a small amount to the sides kind of aids in that, letting you stretch it around and stuff. Yeah, it looks pretty dope. I like it. Now the tricky part is going to be, I don't know how well these colors are going to hold up during this stretch, but we're still going to do it. Let me see if I can get a wisping little line going on. Yeah, I mean, look at, you can see the cells opening up. That's, yeah, all right. Now, as you can see, that orange combining with the blue, it is much more dull than, you know, what came out of the cup, for sure. So that's kind of the risky run if you're gonna try to mix two complementary colors. But here, I don't want negative space, so I'm gonna try to take it to the edge. I want to bring this back to the center because there is quite a lot of paint on the canvas right now. And also, with the consistency that it is, I don't know if I was to let it dry thick, if it would crack. And I definitely don't want that. So we're gonna try to keep as much of that center piece as possible, because I really like that actually. That looks really cool. But yeah, all these cells that you're seeing are cells that came from dish soap only. There is no silicone in this at all, which is really cool actually. I was watching this special and they talked about, I watch a lot of life improvement stuff just because it motivates me. But they talk about you can never choose your finish line. You can only choose your starting line. So in essence, the article was about don't be afraid to try new things, because through those new things you're going to find growth. And I think that's applicable to everything, to be honest. So I kind of took that to heart. It really kind of struck me when he said it that way. Isn't it weird when people say things a certain way, they resonate with you? But, you know, it has to be said in that one particular way in order for it to actually click. But yeah. So I'm going to take my heat gun, because I see surface bubbles, definitely. Now, I don't know how that's going to react with the heat, but we're going to do it. Just really quick passes over the paint. You don't want to burn it. But yeah, we're getting some really cool effects with this too. I mean, the cells that did pop up are pretty. The lacing in here is very well defined. Now, I did get some muddy colors, and like we talked about in the beginning, that I know why that happened. It's because I used two complementary colors. Now, when you are working with complementary colors, you need to also be aware that you can use them together. But you could also layer a white or a black or a color that is not complementary with them between those two complementary colors to separate them so that they can't mix. But if you put them side by side like I did, the more mixing and tilting that I did to this canvas, the more the colors are going to mix together and create mud. But I'm super pleased with this. I think it came out gorgeous, actually. But let me bring you guys down, because I want everybody to get a good look at it for themselves. So here we are. You can see some of the colors are still very well defined, despite having that soap in them. And we got a lot of the same kind of a cell effects as we do with silicone. Just they aren't as big and bubbly. But they're pretty though. I actually like them a lot. Some of the cells that are opening up from the soap, you can see they're kind of a strange shape, but we got a lot of pretty cool effects in this one. What do you think about it, y'all? All right, the painting is completely dry now. It has had a full week and a half to fully dry and cure. As you can see, it dried very matte. The colors are quite muted now. And then I have noticed that is kind of a pain point with a lot of you, is that when your colors dry, they kind of get dull and muted. So I wanted to kind of give you a tip that I use regularly to bring the color back, kind of bring that artwork back to life. I use this Krylon triple thick clear glaze. And if you use silicone, you gotta make sure you clean the silicone off. But since this was just dish soap, I could just take this clear glaze here and apply it to the surface of the painting. Make sure you get a nice even coat. If you're using this indoors, I would suggest having a window open around you, because the fumes from this stuff are pretty intense. So just make sure you're not using this in an enclosed area. But as you can see already, it's already brought a lot of color and life back to this. I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'm gonna bring it outside, and we're all gonna take a look at it out there so you can totally see This is a very cheap, inexpensive way for you to breathe life back into your artwork. So here we are, an hour later. The varnish and sealer has dried. And as you can see now, the colors went back to their more vibrant state. I think this one looks really cool.
If you want to watch another video just like this, click the screen right now and I'll see you there.